92 WICB. I'm really excited right now because I have a very special guest on the line, Dan Haggis from the Wombats. Dan, how's it going?
Yeah, good, thanks. I'm just in rainy London.
Rainy London. How is it?
Well, it's very grey and kind of miserable, but you get used to it over here. And I've just been up to the National History Museum, and I saw an exhibition of photographs all about like the solar system and all the sort of planets and asteroids and comets, and it was absolutely amazing. So even though it's raining, you can still let your mind wander to far off places.
And you're from Liverpool. Do you still live there?
No. I've moved to London about 6 weeks ago. I moved down here. I've lived in Liverpool all my life, and I just fancied a change. And there's a lot of music in Liverpool, but I just fancied seeing what it was like living down here. And we recorded the majority of our last album, Glitterbug, in London. And I just made some good friends, and really liked the area. So I've moved down for the time being.
You mentioned Glitterbug. We've seen a lot of success from Glitterbug. It's just an amazing album overall. Did you see that success coming for the album? Did you know it was going to be a good one?
Thank you. I mean, we were really happy with the album, as we have been kind of with all our albums, but this one definitely even more so. I think we were really excited about it and getting out on the road. And yeah, I mean, I guess we're always surprised really that, people want to listen to our music and stuff. And we're just really glad that people get into it as much as we get into it and as much as we enjoy making it. And, hearing from fans after shows and stuff of what the songs mean to them and how it's gotten them through tough times and stuff. It's, I think that's why all musicians set out to make music in the first place. So, we're really happy that it's gone well and we've been able to tour around the world.
And every album so far has kind of had its own sound. Was that intentional, or does something like that just happen naturally with your changing interests?
Well, I think especially on this album, because the first album we did was all recorded pretty much live in a studio over sort of 3 weeks with a few overdubs and stuff, but it naturally just had its sound because it was actually just us three playing in a room together, and we just wanted to capture the energy of that. And then, obviously, as you go along as a band, you get a bit more experimental and more interested in like the production side of things and layers, and a few synthesizers have been thrown into the mix. And I guess with this one, we definitely wanted to make an album that sounded, as though we'd thought through how it sounded from start to finish. And that was one of the kind of aspects that Mark Crew, the producer, brought to the album. We said from the start that we wanted the same producer for the whole album to try and give it its own sound. And I think we achieved that. There's a few moments where you kind of make decisions on songs that you're like, that'd be cool because that would work with, that other song, and this would sound a bit like in the same world as this other song. And you just try and bring it all together and make it sound cohesive. It was definitely definite.
And every few years you've released an album, and this one just came out last year. Have you worked on anything new, or is anything in the works?
We finished touring this. Well, we didn't finish touring. We've had a little break from touring since mid-January when we got back from Australia, and it's been a pretty hectic year of touring. So we kind of just took a bit of downtime, and I've moved to London, and Murph's over in Los Angeles now, and moved to Oslo. So the three of us have kind of spent the last month or two putting our roots down in new places. I can't speak for the other guys, but we're all kind of tentatively starting to do a bit of new music. But there's no definite plans at the moment to get back in the studio because we've got quite a few festivals and shows coming up over the summer especially in America, but around Europe as well. So we just want to kind of get to the end of that because we don't write very well on the road. So we'll probably start properly from September, October time onwards. So
you write best when you're off tour?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can get some inspiration when you're on the road, but in terms of actually, settling down to finishing songs and getting in the studio and actually recording them, it can be a time-consuming process. And more importantly, I think for us, we get into the studio and you get into a certain mindset. So then to go on stage and do a show, I think you probably wouldn't give your best performance because you're kind of in a different world almost, a bit more of an introverted world of recording. So it's just never really worked out that way for us. But I'm sure there's lots of bands who disagree, but that's how we work.
92 WICB, we're on the phone with Dan from the Wombats. Dan, you mentioned you have a tour coming up, a big U.S. tour at the end of May. How are you gearing up for that tour?
So we've got a festival in Spain on the 22nd of May, and I guess we just need to do some rehearsals for the shows, and then hopefully we'll come over to New York a few days before the tour starts to get into the time zone and maybe do some other rehearsals in New York or something and see some friends, and then just enjoy the summer over in the States, really.
Yeah, well, we can't wait to have you here. And you're actually coming to Albany, New York, too, which isn't too far from us here in Ithaca. So I think I know what I'm doing on June 14th.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I'll be
see you there.
Yeah, I will see you there. I can't wait for it. So this tour goes until the end of the summer. Any plans after that?
No, I think once the touring stops at the end of the summer, we're kind of down tools and not really do any more shows until we got back into the studio and start work on album number 4, really. So it'll be quite exciting. I think we're all looking forward to a summer of festivals because it's always so much fun and road tripping around America, but it'll be really exciting to get back into the studio and have that sense of like creating something new and getting some new songs for ourselves and for the fans as well.
91.7 FM WICB. Dan from the Wombats is on with us. A lot of bands trying to break through right now, certainly more and more competitive for musicians every day. I mean, what advice would you give to a band wanting to be where the Wombats are?
Well, to be honest, my sort of only thing I would say is just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. And, being in a band should be about kind of friendship and like creativity and making something that you're proud of rather than getting fixated upon this kind of whether fame or success or whatever you want to call it. And I think if you create something that you're happy with, then everything else is just a bonus. There's nothing better than like sitting back and listening to a song that you've made with your friends or on your own if you're a solo artist or whatever, and you hear it back and you get goosebumps and you get all those good feelings and stuff. And I think that's kind of what the most important thing about being in a band is. So all I'd ever say is just chase that feeling rather than the success and fame, and hope that maybe a bit of success comes along the way.
No, that is great advice, and it's great advice that every band should look towards. You have to do it for the right reasons. 92 WICB, Dan from the Wombats is on with us. Before I let you go, I like to get this insight from bands. What's one song that you've enjoyed the most, either from Glitterbug or in general? Is there one that you feel most connected with, or even a song you feel more people should take a listen to?
I guess one that springs to mind from a long time ago. I haven't listened to it for a while now, and we haven't played it live for a while, but it's very different to anything we've sort of ever done. It's called Little Miss Pipe Dream, and it's on our first album. I think it's track 8 or 9. And it's just like on that album, it's everything's going so crazy the whole time. There's so much energy, and we were like our early 20s, just hyped up. And then it gets to this song, and it goes like really, really calm and sort of expansive, and it shows a very different side to us. And I always used to enjoy playing that one live. And I think maybe a lot of people won't have actually heard that song, so check it out.
Yeah, and maybe think about bringing it back into the set list for the shows.
I know, yeah, we will, hopefully one day.
Going back to your Glitterbug album, one of my favorite tracks, it's an amazing song, Greek Tragedy. It's a breakup song, obviously, that the lead singer of the Wombats, Matthew Murphy, was going through, I'm presuming. But the music video depicts something much different, pretty much about an obsessed stalker of the band. Why did you decide to go with that music video idea?
I think we wanted a music video that wasn't necessarily just kind of following the story of the lyrics, but something that we wanted to get a different interpretation of what the lyrics could be about or what the song could feel about. And when Finn Keenan, the guy who directed the video, he sort of pitched the idea to us, and we all loved it straight away. And we got the chance to die on screen and see how the kind of the guts and gore of the movie making world happen, and we were just like, yeah, that'll be fun to do. And it's quite an interesting side of being in a band, and I don't know, we just wanted to see what that would explore that option rather than just going down the route of just doing what the lyrics say.
And it did work really well because it shows, like you said, it shows that songs are subjective, and anyone can interpret it the way they want. And you went a little different route with this video.
Yeah, a few people have asked us that about that song. Like, so hang on, is the video? Have you ever experienced this? And no, we haven't. We have never experienced anything like that. Our fans, touch wood, have all been lovely, and no weirdness.
Yeah, no, that's always good. It was scary. I was thinking the same thing. I was wondering if there was a reason behind it, but it's good to know there isn't. The Wombats are going on tour this summer around the U.S. and Albany on June 14th. Tour information can be found online at thewombats.co.uk. Dan Haggis from the Wombats, thanks so much for coming on with us at WICB.
Thanks for having me.
Best of luck and keep up the great work. See you later, Dan.
All right, cheers, man.
We're smashing mics in karaoke.